Hey, it's Philat, and you're watching philatv, the ultimate YouTube channel. I'm the cinematographer, just a dude with a camera and a dude building a bunch of Dune Buggies. Okay, anyways, I discovered another Meyers Manx imitation copy. This one was pretty hideous. It's got this funky-ass nose on the front. I don't like the way it looks. No matter what you do, it's going to always look like a Model A street rod, hot rod. I've taken the top off, I've put some different wheels on it, I've lowered it a little bit, still really goofy. So it's going to suffer the same fate that the most of the other Meyers Manx Dune Buggies that I come across is going to have. I am going to yank the body off of this and I am going to replace it with a brand new lime green Meyers Manx body. Okay, so I'm starting the process of tearing this thing apart. I have tried to put a different hood on it to give it a different look, and it's just, again, not quite right. So, body's going to come off. I found a new home for it from somebody else who wants to build this buggy. And as you can see, I've got a few of these that I am going to be working on. Like I said, this one is going to be a lime green, and this week we are starting on completely redoing the chassis. We're going to repaint it, replace everything. We're going to make it look like that, and we are going to get the new body delivered hopefully within a handful of weeks. Actually, we're going to be going out to pick them up in San Diego. Okay, it's blistering heat out here in Southern California. It's about 12:30. I just started picking some of this tar insulation that they have here, and you can see it's pretty loose. Now, if you look over on this side, this came off yesterday, all with one piece and nice. So this is being more of a job scraping that I wanted to do, but once you get started, you have to kind of complete it. So, like I said, I'm letting it sit out here. It's gonna be over 100 degrees today, so once it really heats up, then this stuff is gonna peel right off. But it is a mess. You're always fortunate when they come off all in one piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue scraping off the rest of this top layer and then let the sun really bake this. And I've got just a little trowel that I'm going to scrape it all off with, which it seems to be working pretty good, but I just got to get it hot enough. I want to get it cleaned up so I can get it painted. So once I scrape off as much of the tar as I can, then I'll go through here with some carburetor cleaner and a rag and clean it up as best I can. Just want to shoot some paint on it and then reapply some soundproofing. Sound deadening, I should say. Okay, and while it's still hot out here, I'm just going through and trying to pick up all the last minute chunks. And then once it cools off a bit later this evening, I'll get out here with some carburetor cleaner, gasoline, and a rag and get this all wiped up and it'll be ready for paint. Time to take a little break from the pulling, the soundproofing and prepping the pan. Actually, see that whole new pan halves just showed up. All right, CIP1, free delivery, no tax. Just got a little shipment today, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a little break. It's still plenty hot outside. I'm gonna let the tar bake a little longer on this chassis of the brilliant lime green Meyers Manx project. Be back soon. Okay, here we are at the car wash for a little pre-teardown cleaning. We're gonna go ahead and knock all this stuff off before we do a teardown on the car. Before I go any further, it's best to grab the camera and start shooting, because before you know it, it is going to be late in the day. Anyways, it's about noontime, Southern California. It's already 105 degrees. I am in the shop with the AC on. Dogs are asleep over there. And what we are working on here is the Meyers Manx project. Brilliant lime green. We're doing the teardown on the shortened pan so we can get it all cleaned up and painted and reassembled, as we have done over here with the Bordeaux. Brilliant Bordeaux, you might say. So that's where we're at now. Pretty simple deal. So these brake lines are going to all be replaced, and they are just not coming off too easy. So I went ahead and cut them because I don't want to have a brand new buggy with these rusty old brake lines. So as we did yesterday, we're going to make the brake lines like we did on this car. But first we've got to tear everything down, clean everything up, get everything painted, top and bottom, get a real small patch panel put in over here on this side, get rid of this transmission strap, and we're going to put, you know, new urethane bushings and axle boots and shift couplers and cables and pedal assembly and everything new. So I'm going to put the camera down, I'm going to grab a handful of wrenches, I'm going to put the music back on, and I'm going to get to work. I'll see you in a bit. See you in a bit. Okay, the front end is done. We neutralized whatever surface rust there was with a rust inhibitor. This was a fairly low mileage pan before it was made into a Dune Buggy, so it was really clean. I was surprised there wasn't a lot of gunk and muck on it. So we just cleaned it up and treated it, and now we put a rust preventive high temp, high heat paint job on it, and it'll stay like this for years to come. I also want to point out that I went with a stock front beam without adjusters. As you can see on my other ones, I have adjusters on it so it can be lowered. So this one is going to be kind of a street vehicle, and this one is going to be more for sand and dunes. So I just messed up my beautiful gloss black paint job trying to put a undercoating on this. I thought it would give it a nice textured look, but it didn't, and it doesn't even look like it's going to dry too well. So I'm going to have to just leave this alone for a day or two and see what happened. Hopefully I didn't mess it up too bad, but I just think this glossy gray just doesn't look good. So I'm going to, like I said, have to let this thing dry and come back to it because it sure looked good and it was shiny. All right, that's it for now. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get alerted when I continue on this and many other projects. Thanks for watching. PHILA TV. Ciao.